Hello, hello, and welcome to lesson 2 of 250K for Dummies with Jamie Shepley. I want to welcome you here. Today we are going to learn the exact strategies to protect your money and will pay off your debt once and for all. So thanks for joining me here. Let's get going, shall we? So you guys, I want to start off with saying it's not the amount, it's the plan. Okay, it is not how much money you make, it is how much money you keep. What you do with the money that you make is more important than the amount that you made. I shared an example in the previous lesson about the fireman who made $55,000 but was able to stop working and not work for 10 years. And it's not because of the amount of money that he made, but it was because of the plan that he had set in place, okay? Most of the time, those with a so-called quote unquote good income, majority of those people actually have a small level of accumulated wealth. Most of those people live paycheck to paycheck. Let me prove it to you even in your own scenario. So, do you make more money now than you did when you started in the workplace? I'm 100% sure that you did, unless you just started in the workplace. The odds are that you definitely make more money now than when you first started in the workplace at, like, say 18, 19, 20 years old. Where is that more money? Where is that increase of pay or increase of earnings? Where is it? For most people, higher income equals higher debt. And that's it. The more you make, the more you spend, and more accurately, the more you make, the more you finance, right? Because the more your income goes up, the more banks will work with you. They'll give you more money for that fancier car, or they'll give you a bigger loan. You know, you get the high income, you get the boat, you get the sexy car, you get maybe even the second house and all the toys that come with it. Maybe you eat out at restaurants more. Maybe you throw parties, whatever. Before you know it, you're making well over, say, a six-figure income, and you're living paycheck to paycheck. And even worse, you're having to make an income of at least $10,000 a month just to make ends meet. What? How the hell did we get here? Crazy, right? But it happens all the freaking time. And the majority of people, it doesn't matter if it is 150K or if it is $5,000 a month, you guys, you literally, it doesn't matter the amount. This is what most people are living. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. It is not the amount that you make. It is the plan. So I want to challenge you, go with me here a little bit in your mind. I want you, if your money was sitting on the floor of a department store, okay, so like you had to take out all the money out of your bank account and all the money in your pockets, and it's all in dollar bills, okay, and you have to stand in the middle of a department store and you have to put all of your money just in a pile, just on the floor in a pile in the middle of a busy, busy, busy department store, okay, how would you protect your money? Imagine it. How would you protect it? Would you hover over it? Would you squat over it? You know, would you stare down the people that even like attempted to look sideways at you? How would you protect it? But how are you protecting your money that is in your wallet or safely in your bank? Are you checking on it? Do you know where it's going? Do you know what even happened to it? Or are you throwing it out the window per se and like handing it out to others completely freely? Are you making others rich while you're going further into debt? So we're going to stop that frickin' sucker. We're going to stop that. We already talked about money mindset. We already talked about all that stuff. That stuff is already on roll, right? We're creating momentum, asking better questions. We're doing the rituals. We're going to get a better money mindset so that we can be smarter and more strategic with our money. And right now, we are going to stop making other people richer while you are going broke or while you are going further into debt, okay? I want you to start seeing yourself as an Amazon or a Starbucks. And if you don't like either one of those two, pick Target. Everybody likes Target. But I want you to see yourself as a big name business, okay? And each time you protect your money, each time you're squatting over that cash that's in that bank account, or each time you are protecting, you're counting it, you know where it is, you know what it's doing, you know where it's going. Every time you protect your money well, or you pay off some of your debt, you are making you the big S Corp, the big box name of Jamie Shepley or Susie Q International. You are making you richer. Okay? I really want you to understand and get that. Every time you protect your money, it is about making yourself richer instead of someone else. You guys, we need to know your holes in the boat, okay? So what I want you to do is, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I want you to go ahead and log into your bank accounts. And I want you to print out the last 3 months of your statements of where your monthly bills come out of. If you spend money, that account that it goes out of. If you have multiple accounts, you're going to have to do multiple of these, because you need to see if you spent money at a restaurant, if you spent money on Amazon, if you spent money at the grocery store. You need to print out statements of the account of where that money comes from, okay? And then I want you to get a highlighter. And I want you to color coordinate a little bit, have a little fun with this, but I want you to color coordinate it. So say if it's the grocery store, maybe make that green. Or if it's monthly expenses, meaning your rent or your mortgage or your phone bill or your water bill, make all of those utilities and monthly expenses that, they're living expenses, make those all say pink. You can do a whatever color you want, obviously. Or make Amazon orders, God help us, make Amazon orders, make those blue, all right? And maybe if you went out to eat out at restaurants, or you had extra spending on extra clothes or the movies or whatever, extra fun spending like that, make those yellow, okay? But go through and make sure each category of spending, make sure it has its own color. And then what you're going to do is you're going to actually go through and you're going to calculate each color to see where your spending is in each section. So you're going to add up all the yellows, and you're going to add up all the pinks and all the blues and all the greens, or whatever colors that you have. You're going to add them all up. And then I want you to look at the categories, and I want you to see how much fat you have in your spending, okay? Because fat is spending. Fat is the eating out. It is the extra shoes. It is the additional black shirt, even though you already own 5 of them. I see you. I hear you out there. I understand. I've been there, done that one. I want you to see those extra little tidbits here and there. And even if it's $2, I want you to highlight it and I want you to add them up. I need you to see where every penny is going, right? Where every dollar went over the last 3 months. How much fat do you have in your spending? And fat does not equal your survival, you guys. It doesn't equal the monthly expenses. It doesn't equal your rent and your mortgage. It doesn't equal your electric bill or your trash or your water bill. Those are things that you need to actually live. We're talking outside of that spending. That is your fat. So an average, just to let you guys know, an average fat spending per household is $800. $800. Let me tell you a story, because I want you to really take the time to do this, and I want you to be honest with yourself and not shy away from whatever number is popping up on your calculator right now as you do this. I had a friend who I had do this years ago. This was probably 7 years ago. And I was helping her with money management, just like we're doing here. And she added up in her grocery bill alone. Now, it was groceries and eating out. And I don't know why she had the two combined, but she did. Groceries and eating out. So on food, her family had spent in 1 month an average of $4,000. And I'm sharing this with you not to make her feel bad. I'm sharing this with you to have you understand, like, you're not alone. This is what people do. She had no idea that it was going to be that amount, and she was absolutely floored and disgusted that that was what she had spent on food alone. And what was happening, see, because she's busy, right? She's a busy working businesswoman. what was happening was she was buying groceries at the grocery store, which is all fine and well, but she had a stocked kitchen. Then she was running out of time in a hurry and would pick food up on the go at restaurants on the way home. So she had food at home and she was also buying, making the restaurants rich, right? Wendy's, Taco Bell, whatever, In-N-Out. She was making them rich as well. And while she's doing that, she was making herself go deeper into debt. She was taking money off her family business, off her family, and she was putting it into food. Needless to say, fast forward, she stopped doing that. She was able to pay off debt pretty quickly because $4,000 adds up pretty nicely. But I want to share that with you because I do want you to take a good, honest look at what that number is and realize that you're not alone. This is normal. Most people, an average of, I think it's 76% now of Americans are deeply in debt, and most people do not know where the money's going. But today, we are going to start to protect that money. And so this is what you're going to do. You're going to take that spending and that fat that you found, and you're going to apply it to the debt on top of your monthly minimum payments. So what you're going to do is I want you to take another piece of paper and I want you to write down all of your debts. If you have, say, 5 credit cards, I want you to write them all down. I want you to write each credit card. I want you to write the balance and the minimum payment. That's all you need to know. You need to know the credit card, the balance, and the minimum payment. So you're going to take the debt and you are going to apply it to the lowest balance, not the interest. We're not paying attention to the interest. And I'll show you why in just a minute. But we're not looking at the interest rate, you guys. We're looking at the lowest balance. So you're applying to the lowest balance. This is going to snowball. Some people actually call this the snowball effect, but this is going to snowball and it's going to pay off your debt like way crazy freaking fast, you guys, okay? So for an example, you're going to take the fat with an example of $800 plus a minimum monthly payment. Let's say it's $200. So you're going to apply that to the lowest balance. So $1,000 is now going towards a debt payment. So say that your debt payment is that you have a credit card, the lowest one has $1,000 on it, okay? So you're going to take that fat, the $800, and you're going to have the monthly payment of the $200. So $1,000, you guys, you're going to pay off that lowest amount, the $1,000 credit card. You're going to pay it off in one payment, in 1 month. Do you see that? And then what you're going to do is you're going to continue. So you have $1,000. You're not going to, the mistake that people have in this is that $200 monthly payment, it just flies out the window. They don't protect it any longer, right? They loosen their protection on it and it just goes somewhere else. They don't know what happened to it. What you're going to do is you're going to keep it, you're going to protect it, and it's still going to go and snowball into your debt. So you still have the $1,000. Now you're going to take that and you're going to put it on the next lowest amount, including that minimum payment. So $1,000, and say the next lowest amount of your credit cards is a $5,000 credit card. Okay, you have a balance of $5,000 credit. And the minimum payment again is $200. For sake of numbers, that's what we're going with, okay? So now instead of $1,000, you're going to do the $1,000 plus the $200 minimum payment. So that's $1,200 that you are going to apply to your balance of your $5,000 credit card. Okay, and if you take $5,000 and you divide it roughly by $1,200, you are going to get about 4 months. So now you have 4 months in that one. It took you 1 month on the other one. You are 5 months in and you have paid off $6,000 of debt. $6,000 in debt in 5 months. Now you are going to take that $1,400 because that's what you had. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $1,400. It's actually even quicker than that. Anyway, so you're up to $1,400 with your fat plus the 2 monthly payments from the 2 credit cards that you've now paid off. And you're at $1,400, and you're going to take that baby and you're going to keep applying it to your debt until your debt is completely paid off. Some of you may have a lot of debt. And some of you may be like, oh my gosh, this is discouraging actually, because I'm going to live without all the extra fun stuff that I've been spending my money on. And I am going to, it's still going to take me like a year and a half to pay all this off. Hear me on this. We're working on our mindset, right? And I'm sharing this because that's exactly how I used to think. When I started paying off my debt, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go without for a year and a half. Like, no fun stuff. I have to live off bare minimum for a year and a half so I can pay off this debt. And I wouldn't do it. I didn't want to do it so badly because my mindset at the time had not developed. Then I had a friend tell me this, and this is why I'm going to share this with you. If that's your thought process, if you're discouraged at all that you think it's actually going to take longer than you thought it would to pay off all your debt, I want you to reverse engineer it here for just a minute. And I want you to take a minute and I want you to take all of your debt that you have and I want you to add it all up. Okay, I want you to get one big, fat, ginormous number. Okay, and I want you to get the highest interest rate that you're paying right now on any given credit card. I don't care what it is, but if it's, say, one of your credit cards has 25%, okay, because we're averaging this out, so it's fair to take the highest. We're going to take the highest interest rate. And I want you to multiply your total debt by the percentage of your highest interest rate. And I want you to stare for a long time at the number that comes up on your calculator because it is going to be an obscene amount of time. When I did this, you guys, my number to pay off my amount was 10 years. Let me tell you what that 10 years is. That number of your total debt times by your percentage rate, that number, what that is that's the amount that it'll take you to pay off your debt if you do by paying your minimum payments only. I want that to soak into your brain for a minute because if you think that a year and a half is a long time to get out of debt, if you think that 7 years, including your mortgage, is a long time to pay off debt, I want you to do the math. I want you to see what it looks like, how much time you are going to be paying on this debt if you do the minimum monthly payments only. Okay, you're going to get a very shocking, eye-opening awakening when you know what that number is. It's disturbing and it'll probably make you sick to your stomach and you're probably going to be really glad to do the snowball effect. Okay, so here's another tip, you guys. You guys can save blindly. Okay, so you can save blindly. All right, so say that you're killing it in the debt payoff. You got your debts paid off. Now what do? Right? Well, there's an easy tip to set up where you can have money go into your account automatically or into a separate account that you don't even see. Now, obviously, this amount is kind of limited because you can only take so much money out from what you don't need, right? But realistically, you could take your FAT and your payments that you were paying off in debt because now you're used to not needing it. And you could literally take that amount and automatically have that come out of your bank account, come out of your paycheck, whatever, however you can have it set up, and have a portion of that or all of it get completely automatically sent over to a separate account. That puppy is going to increase your savings account very rapidly. Month after month, you are going to have a sweet little nest egg to yourself and you didn't even really miss it. It's bonkers and so good. So let's say that you have no more debt, that you already paid it off, or you paid off your debt or you didn't have debt in the first place, okay? So first of all, freaking celebrate because a debt-free life is killer. It is absolutely awesome, and I want every single person to go for that because freedom from the stress, the overwhelm, the pressure, the embarrassing moments, the weddings that are missed. I mean, so much crap is missed because of debt. I hate debt. It sucks. I can't say I hate debt. I hate consumer debt. I don't mind debt if it's like real estate debt or investing debt or business debt. That doesn't bother me because it's making me money. But consumer debt it sucks. You're literally making Visa or MasterCard rich and you are absolutely a slave. Your money is imprisoned by consumer debt. So celebrate if you are debt free. And then let's move on and see what we should do. Some simple steps to take now of where your money goes. Like, what does your money go now? Because we need to protect it still, right? Just because you're out of debt, don't go back into debt. Don't keep making the Amazons and the Targets rich. Make sure that you are your company, right? Jamie Shepley org, right? Jamie Shepley, Susie Q, LLC, whatever. You are a business now. You are going to make yourself rich. So we're going to continue to protect that money and not let it just fly out the window. Okay. So here are some simple steps you guys to take to know where your money goes. So after taxes, obviously everybody's got to pay taxes, and we should. We want nice roads, right? So we pay taxes. That's fine. Well, after taxes, 100% of that allocated into what is called a 10-10-10-70. So 70% you're going to live off of, okay? So 70% of your income should be able to pay for your mortgage, roof over your head, your gas, your water bill, groceries, things like that. 10% you want to go ahead and give it somewhere. One of the biggest secrets to wealth that every single wealthy person that I have ever interviewed or studied, they are givers. They are givers. There is something about generosity. There is something about giving that actually comes back to you, depending on what you believe. You believe in karma or whatever, but in the Bible, it says whatever you give will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and made full. So if you want people to give you money or give you love or give you generosity or give you encouragement, make sure that you are giving it. And that goes for your money as well. A really good place to give to if you guys aren't normally givers and you don't really know places and you want to be careful where you give your money to. You want to make sure that it is a upstanding place where you know that the money's going where you think it's going to, right? I highly recommend kingsransom.org. That's kingsransom.org. 100%, 100%, not 99, not 99.9, 100% of the money that is given there goes to those causes. And they are doing things like building people homes that are homeless in Nicaragua. They are doing things like feeding the children, getting them water where they don't have food and water. They are getting people there are places where people go to trash sites to collect recyclables to sell for the day. And that's how they make their $1 a day income. And they are feeding those people. They are getting those people on their feet to a better life. King's Ransom also helps rescue and rehabilitate the children out of the sex trade. Okay, so we are huge givers with them. If you are part of this group, actually, any of my courses, money gets donated to the kingsransom.org foundation as a part of that. So big supporter of those ones as well. 10% also is going to go to increase your capital. To increase your capital, you guys. We are going to start talking about investing here in just a minute, and you guys have to have money to invest. So 10%, an average of 15% is what the affluent save. It's what the affluent invest from their annual income, an average of 15%. The goal is 20, I hear, but the average is 15. So we're going to start with 10, right? You start where you are, start with 10%. You're going to have that 10% to be able to increase your capital. And then in the last 10%, you guys, if you've paid off debt with it, you're debt free, then you can invest that into, like, say, your savings account. So that's where you're going to invest in a short-term savings where, you have a little bit of money set aside. So that way, say, your tire blows out or, life just happens, medical expense comes up or whatever. You're going to have a little bit of that stashed away. As your income increases, the fun really stinking begins, you guys, because you can adjust these numbers around, okay? I know many people who live off less than 10% of their income, and they do wild, outrageous, fun things with the other 90%. Imagine that. Imagine increasing your income and protecting your money in such a way that you are living off 10%. and 90% is going to outrageous, wild, crazy, fun things that you're just interested in and that you want to bless people with, or you want to be a part of growing or solving or curing or whatever. Financial freedom gets really fun, you guys, all right? But it starts with protecting. So I want to encourage you and speak this really, really loudly, and I want you to get this and understand this. I want you to be patient. I want you to be patient. I was not patient at first. I would get frustrated and I would give up and I would stop and start like a gazillion times. I want you to get patient. I want you to understand that it took you a while to get into this debt or get into the financial position that you're in right now. It might take some time to get you out. But just like the ripple effect happens with money, you guys, it does happen quickly. But make sure that you're patient with yourself. Give yourself time to learn. Give yourself time to study this. Do the steps little by little and then perfect them on a larger scale. I also want to remind you guys that it takes work. Straight up, it takes work. It is not always easy. Does it get really stinking bananas fun? Yes. But before that fun, before that outrageous, wild freedom comes, it takes work, okay? And we really do. The saying is true. We'd be faithful with the little to be a master over much. The saying is very true, and it is very, very spot on. We have to be faithful with what we have right now to be given much more. To get to the point of living off only 10% of your income, you have to do the due diligence to be living off of 70% of your income, okay? To take the money, the fat, whether it's $200 or $800, like the average, whatever that amount is, even if you feel it's super little, be faithful with that little. Put it and plug it away towards that debt. I also want to encourage you guys that money, oh my gosh, this one's such a big one for me. So money gets construed. There's a belief sometimes that people look at money like it's loyal. They think their money is loyal to them. It is not. Money is like a 2-year-old. It throws tantrums. It will up and leave you. It will blow up in your face. Does not have to stay around. It does not have to stick around with you. It can go wherever it wants to go at any given time. So when you think money's not going to run out, or when you think the income's going to always just keep on coming in, so you don't need to worry about increasing, or you don't need to be worried about setting aside for the future, or you don't need to worry about investing in a business, guys, I'm telling you, money is like a freaking 2-year-old. And the sooner you can acknowledge that and the sooner you realize that, you will keep that protective stance. You know, when you're squatting in the department store over your money, as soon as you realize that it's a 2-year-old and it'll run out into the street if you're not watching it, you will master your money even quicker and better. The other thing is, like we've been talking about, make sure you have a plan. Have a plan and have principles that you have set aside, that you do X, Y, Z with your money, okay? You have a plan that we just went over with that is going to help you pay off your debt, that is going to help you pay it off very quickly, okay? Have principles for yourself. Know that you are a business, that you deserve to get rich, that you are no longer going to make others rich, but you are going to make your family, your household, and your downline, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, you're going to set aside to make your company, your family wealthy. The other thing is, I do not want you to overcomplicate it, you guys. People overcomplicate money so much. They use lingo, they use big terms and all this stuff, and really it's not complicated. It's very simple. It's very straightforward, just like the system that I just went over with you, to know where your money is, to know where to put it so that you can pay off the debt and increase it. I also want you to look at it like this. Yes, it's a 2-year-old and it operates like a machine. Okay, so the machine can't operate by itself. It needs an operator to show up. The operator tells it how fast to go. The operator tells it when to slow down. The operator tells it when to turn off. You are the operator. The sooner you realize that, the better and the faster your money will work for you. I want you to be wise in selecting the people around you who handle your money. Hear me on this. This is very, very important. Be wise in selecting the people around you that handle your money. They better find your money just as important as you do. So if you have, say you hire a bookkeeper or you hire some financial person. You need to really look under the hood with that person on what does their personal finances look like. Because if you hire a bookkeeper or a financial advisor and their financial personal life is a mess, how the hell are they going to help you dig yours out? Do not work with those people that their own personal financial advisor is a mess. They literally don't know what they're talking about. They literally are not following the principles or the plan that they're trying to get you to. Those people, I don't know about you, but I am not going to trust them, and I want someone around my money that knows what they're doing. I want someone around my money that knows how important money is, how it works, how to keep it, how to protect it, and how to grow it. Another thing is I want you guys to remember to practice to pause. To pause. Get in the practice of pausing weekly. Get in the practice of pausing monthly. Get in the practice of pausing bi-yearly. And then again, pausing yearly. And I want you to pause so that you can reflect. I want you to reflect weekly. How is my plan working? Reflect and pause monthly. How is my plan working? What needs to be tweaked? What needs more attention? What's not working? What's slipping through the holes, right? It helps keep yourself accountable and on track if you're interested in speed. I know I am. I'm assuming you are too, or you wouldn't be in a course called 250K for Dummies. If you're interested in speed, you have to perfect the pause. You have to perfect protection. You have to perfect looking at what's working, what's not working, what can I tweak so that I can accelerate this frickin' sucker and get myself to a position that is up out of this debt, that is up out of this poverty, that is up out of this mindset that sucks, so I can get myself to the financial freedom and living the life that I want to. And last but not least, you guys, I just really quick want to remind you to become debt-free and to go on to be financially independent. You need to live well below your means, so you might have to suck it up for a while, okay? There was several times that my husband and I ate beans and rice, straight up. They'll feed you what you need, and they're super cheap. Live well below your means, okay? Number 2 is you need to allocate your time, your energy, and your money efficiently to conduct building wealth. And that basically, all that means is you need to freaking pursue it. You need to pursue it like your life depends on it. Also, number 3 is you need to believe that financial independence is more important than looking high status, okay? When you get financially free, then go buy the car, okay? Then go have fun. When you get financially free, but until you're financially independent, looking like you're wealthy, looking like you have your shit together with the shiny car and the second house and every child has a cell phone and looking like that, dude, that does nothing for you. You are never going to hit financial independence that way. If you're interested in actually obtaining the wealth, if you're interested in actually never stressing about money again, if you actually want to know where the money's coming from, if you actually want to make decisions regarding your money of where to put it and how to grow it so you can really do some fun bomb things, you have to be willing to understand that the high status living is a bunch of smoke and mirrors right now. It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors right now. But after you're financially free, oh my gosh, game on, man. Game on. Live the life that you want. Go the places that you want, the extravagant vacations, the cars, the houses, whatever you want to have, go ahead and have that, okay? But get yourself out of the prison first. You guys, I also want to remind you that for financial independence, we need to get really stinking good, really good at targeting opportunities that will increase your money, which, by the way, is exactly what we're going to talk about next. So get excited, and I will see you over there.